Hey guys, I am back today with another crafty organizational video. I apologize if this looks really awkward, it feels really awkward. The only way to get this in frame in any kind of way, even then I know it's not fully in frame, was to clamp my phone holder to the very top of my cabinet that my dishes are in, and it's still not fully in frame. I do apologize for not putting up a video last week. Things got a little crazy. I had sort of an impromptu babysitting job for the last week and a half of school. It wasn't a huge deal, but it just kind of screwed up my schedules for the day, and then also just with the long weekend and stuff got busy, so unfortunately wasn't able to make a video. I have still been struggling with finishing off the 12x12 paper pad. Actually, I was hoping to film the final project share for that today. I made a bunch of cards over the weekend and I just needed to finish embellishing them. I was doing that this morning, and then I found a handful of card bases that I never made into cards. So I gotta do that now, so hopefully I'll film that shortly. But that's not going up today, obviously. So I was hoping to get 2 videos up today, but it's now Wednesday when I'm filming this, so that's not gonna happen. But I will definitely have 2 videos up next week. So this is a crafty organizational video showing you how I store and organize my journaling cards. You may recognize this if you watched me back when I did haul videos. This is a photo album. It's not quite 12x12, I think it's like 11x11 or something, and it still doesn't fit in frame. But I found them at my local Dollarama last year, I think? Yeah, last year. And they were, I think, $30 American at some store in America. I can't remember what store. There's a sticker on the back. I'm not even going to try to flip it over to look because I'll screw up my filming setup. But it was something like $30 US, and they were selling them at Dollarama for $4. I picked up 2 of them, and I got them specifically to hold my journaling cards. They hold 4x6 photos. They hold 5 on each page, or each side of each page, and I thought it would be a good solution, and it was. The problem was I have so many freaking journaling cards because I found some Project Life stuff on clearance at Michael's, and I got other journaling cards other ways. That basically it was getting really irritating to have 2 separate albums of journaling cards to have to go through to find what I needed. And then if you watched my organizational video showing how I store my scraps, and then I use a random scrapbook that I got at the thrift store, I had purchased some scrapbook post extenders to give myself some more space for scraps in that album, but there were a few left over, so I decided to use them in this album. And basically what I did was I took the inserts out of the second album of this, and I just put them all together to make one giant photo album. And it's definitely giant. It might look off kilter on camera, and that's because it literally is. It's full, so full it doesn't close. And that's with having pulled a bunch out to eventually destash, hopefully soon. I've actually gone through them more than once. I've also used a bunch of them, and I'll probably end up using a few more with those cards I forgot to make. So it's very full, and part of that's because I picked up some of those Mambi sets that have been going around Dollarama, the pocket page kits and the cards in an instant sets. So I recently put them in here, and as a result of that, it's chunky. So again, this is still not going to be fully in frame, unfortunately, but it's definitely going to be better than my first attempt at filming. So we can take a look at this. I wasn't going to show you everything, but I know some people like to see people's collections, so I might just do like a flip through and speed it up with some music or something. So this is the first page. This is where you can slide in photos in the front. I just slid in some journaling cards that I liked. And I have it in sort of a rainbow order, so we have red at the beginning. These are some of those cards in an instant cards, and these are from the love themed project, or pocket pages. It's not Project Life, pocket pages kits from Mambi. These are actually dimensional. They got a bit of glitter on them, so I have one of each in separate pockets, but here these are flat and pretty thin, so I've got 3 in each pocket, because if I tried to give every single card in this album its own pocket, I would need like 5 more albums. So if the cards are small or thin, I put more than 1 in a pocket. They're 4x6 pockets. These are, I guess, around 3x5. So you can see I've got 4x6 journaling cards here. Most of what I have is 3x5. I try to keep the glittered ones and the foil ones in their own pockets so it doesn't like rub off on each other or anything. And then there's more here. I got some Tim Holtz journaling cards. These 80 gazillion cards with the poppies on them, they are from one of the Project Life sets that I got on clearance. Some of the Project Life kits have like a gazillion of the same design. There's like, it's not just triples, it's like quadruples and quintuples and sextuples. And I've actually pulled a bunch out to destash because there were like 6 of each design, and who needs that many of the same design? Like, even if you were trying to do an album that was like themed around this design, wouldn't that get really boring to have the same cards over and over? I don't understand. Anyways, but I mean, they're pretty. I just don't need 16 of each design. You see, there's more here. Like, they're pretty, but there's so many. We get into these ones, and then eventually we end up in pink, and there are so many pink ones. I don't even like pink that much, but there's so many pink journaling cards. And some of them are very pretty. Like, I like these ones that say love on them. They're very pretty. And this is a pretty convenient organizational system. The problem is the 3x5 slide around. Like, you can see they've slid over here to like into the like spine area, and the little ones, when they're on this side, they slide out so easy. I don't know if they will while I'm flipping through, but it wouldn't surprise me. They slide out really easy when you flip the page, and it's really annoying, but at the same time, this is a very convenient system aside from that, because just open the album, I can see what I got. I can see that I have multiples of certain designs, and I can see just everything that I have, and it's really convenient in that way. Like I said, lots and lots of pinks. And there you go, right there. Sliding on out. It's kind of a pain, but overall it works really well. It's also a major pain to film. See, more slid out right here. Ta-da! In hindsight, these are more purple than pink, and I probably should have put them in with the purples, but they're here now and I really don't want to adjust things. So, and they go with this. The purple falling on that, so whatever, they're in the pink section now. Then I kind of go into like a rainbow section. I kind of categorize things as rainbow when they are like this, like the rainbow colors, or they're white with multiple colors. It's kind of how I organize my loose leaf paper as well. So I just have a bunch of rainbow ones. And these ones are, again, from the Mambi Cards in an Instant kit, but they're thicker than the other ones, like I guess because of the foiling and it's dimensional. So I have, instead of having, like with the flat ones, if I have more than 2, I'll put 3 in one pocket. But with the thicker ones, I've decided to put 2 in one pocket because it made it even chunkier when I did that. I have more rainbow here, like this has got, I think, 3 in each pocket. I might have 2. I don't remember now. I think it's 3. Something just fell out. Get in there. Nope. Get in there too. Then we start moving into some yellows. And then greens. These slid over, which makes it awkward to turn the page. Like I said, not a perfect system, but it works. Moving into more of like the teal colors. Now we're getting into like teal and blue and that kind of color mixture. We're into the purple. Like I said, I should put that foiled one in here. Too late now. I'm not going to go and reorganize it. There are so many pages I would have to go back through, and that's not going to happen. But we kind of moved from purple into brown, oddly enough, because of these cards that have brown and purple on them. And these ones, these are the Tim Holtz. They're double-sided, but they're all the same designs for the most part. So basically when I have, like, these are all the same design, and so I just have one flipped over so I can see what the other side is. But basically, like, the design I prefer is the one that's sticking out. So, like, I really love this design, but that's also what the back looks like if I'm looking for something like that. These wood grain ones, they may have been in the same Project Life kit as the Poppy cards, and there's 80 gazillion of them as well, and I know I've pulled out a bunch to destash because, oh my god, so much wood grain. Now we're moving into like gold foil. And then gray. Then we get black and white. And then eventually more black, then white, with some color pops in there. And then that's the last page. And that's it for how I store and organize my journaling cards. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It took a little bit of work to get it all organized and set up, but it's definitely worth it in the end because it's much easier to go through than in my previous iterations. So like I said, I will be back with at least 2 videos next week, so I look forward to sharing that with you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please give it a share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click that little bell in the corner to be notified when I next upload a video. Also, don't forget to check out the Facebook group. It is linked below. It's also linked on the front page of my channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. And like I said, I'll see you at least twice next week. Okay, bye.